What's up guys, welcome back to another Destiny 2 Black Armory exotic weapon review video, and today I'll be going over a fusion rifle. Yes, it is the Jötunn. I really don't know why they call this thing a fusion rifle. If anything, it's more like a freaking grenade launcher. I don't even know. Like, it's freaking cool. But on how to obtain this exotic weapon, this is a random drop from completing the Baguzia Forge. I'm pretty sure it's the Baguzia Forge. Maybe you can get it at any forge, but that's where I got mine from. While you have a powerful radiant frame to forge. Again, not 100% sure about the Baguzia Forge, but that's where I got mine. Let's go over the perks. It comes with Charged Shot. Hold to charge up a tracking shot that explodes and burns on impact. Next we have Volatile Launch. It increases blast radius and slightly decreases handling speed and projectile speed. Next we have Liquid Coils, which increases the impact damage and gives you a slower charge time. Next we have Shield Disorient. Energy matched shield explosion disorients nearby combatants, so it has to be solar damage to have the shield disorient active, so keep that in mind. Then we have Polymer Grip. This weapon's grip is made of lighter material, increases handling speed. Going over a summary of some of the perks, so Charge Shot. Instead of charging up to release a bunch of concentrated bolts, it fires one shot, which is like a missile, and it tracks targets, explodes, and burns on impact for a short time. Its perk set is like having a fusion rifle mixed with a grenade and rocket launcher. That's really what this thing is like. It's pretty cool. Next we have Shield Disorient. Obviously, if there are solar shields involved, and like with any enemy, including the intended target, whoever you hit, as long as you make the shield explode, like, everybody gets disoriented around it, which is pretty cool. Going over PvE and the PvE side of Gambit, it's freaking amazing. Like, I almost always bring this thing for any activity I'm doing. First off, it can serve so many different purposes. One, taking out a ton of smaller tier adds, dropping mages with ease, and it can do great boss DPS because of its archetype and perks. It's like one of the slowest charge time fusions, but since it's a projectile and explodes, it's crazy. Like, yes, it has a slow charge time, but it completely makes up for it with that damage. So, I was using it in the Last Wish raid when I ran out of heavy ammo, and it completely destroyed in all the encounters, including Riven, which is pretty hilarious. Like, for casual activities, I enjoy using it too. Running around and just completely mapping targets is very enjoyable, to say the least. Like, it's very versatile and pumps out a lot of damage. Even a Gambit can be useful as well, considering it is a special weapon. It will take out any enemy with ease and deal great DPS to the Primeval when you get enough stacks. The only real downfall is that it takes up the exotic slot, so you won't be able to equip something like the Thunderlord or the Whisper of the Worm if you wanted to. Going over the Crucible and the PvP side of Gambit, I had a great time with this exotic in the Crucible. Like, it's freaking fun. Now, before you all start saying that it's overpowered and needs a nerf, I don't believe it does. Like, yes, it can technically hit from anywhere, but here's the thing, the shots do miss. Like, there is a skill gap when it comes to this thing. It can't kill from anywhere. Like, you can't just launch projectiles like a Telesto and map somebody with it. So, I know in the gameplay I'm hitting some crazy shots, but that was only after using it for a few hours. It does take some practice. Like, my first few games, I barely even hit anybody with it. So, there's definitely a skill gap when going to use this weapon. It takes some prediction and charging behind cover before exiting to make sure it's extremely effective, and it allows you to increase your survivability as well. If you're up against mobile players that run and jump around a lot, then it'll be difficult to use against those opponents, but it punishes people who want to camp and stick to the medium-long range engagements. So I would say make sure to choose those things wisely. Like, there's also travel time with this projectile, so you must predict where an enemy is going. So let's say they're strafing to the right. All you have to do is aim a little in front of where they're going to, and boom, you drop them. So you'll see some gameplay of that in here, which is pretty cool. It's hard to use in shotgun range, like really, really close quarters, so choose your engagements wisely. Definitely recommend, like, medium range. That's where this thing shines. It can smack at long range too, because there's no range drop-off, and it's pretty fun to, like, basically snipe somebody with a fusion rifle. A quote-unquote fusion rifle. So on the PvP side of Gambit, it can be effective as well. Going over, like, to the enemy arena and launching tracking missiles at them is pretty entertaining. It catches them off guard, especially if you're at that long range. Again, it does take some prediction and skill to figure out where the enemy team is going, but it's very usable. Just be warned that somebody who's using something like the Queen Breaker can take you out a little easier because there's travel time with this thing, right? So make sure you get into a good position before you engage. Going over some useful exotics and perks, I can't think of any relevant exotics to use, but any fusion rifle perks like Scavenger, Reserves, Light Reactor, Special Ammo Finder, Targeting, Unflinching, all that stuff, that will help out your gameplay a lot. Going over my final thoughts, overall this weapon isn't overpowered. I'm going to say it, it's not. It is very good. Like, I will admit, it's very good for certain engagements and certain activities. It does a lot of damage, and it's fun to use, but there's no need to nerf, considering, like, the Crucible is still dominated by shotguns and Lunas Howl and Last Word, and now freaking snipers are coming back, so there's really no need to nerf this thing. I've barely even seen this thing in the Crucible since update 2.1.4. But I do highly recommend grinding for this weapon because this is one of those weapons that actually truly feels exotic. You call it a fusion rifle, ends up being a missile launcher. It's freaking cool. Does cool damage. The tracking feature, sick. Whoever came up with this at Bungie, like, props to you, because like this weapon is very, very cool. We're now at the end of the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, but there are 3 things I want to go over. First up, my clan, the D1 Fire Team, is looking for active players in the Destiny community. Our members play all sorts of activities from casual PvE and PvP to the endgame content. If you're actively playing Destiny 2 and want the benefits of a bigger clan, the link to join is below. It'll say clan link. All you have to do is request to join, and myself or one of the admins will approve you. If you're with a smaller clan and want the benefits of a bigger clan, and you have, like, let's say, like 7 to 10 members, I'm just using that as an example, but if you want to come over, just send me a message on any of my social media links and we'll try to get something set up. Number 2, if you want to know how to support me, there's a link below that says best way to support me. That'll take you to a 4-minute video. If you want to go check that out, that would be awesome. But if you don't want to do that, you can always like this video, subscribe to the channel, share this video, and all that good jazz if you want to do any of those things. Lastly, we have a link to the community Discord below. Just a heads up, we're looking for anyone with moderator experience to potentially run the Discord. I know for myself, I'm more of a player instead of a manager, so if you have some moderator experience, just send me a message and we'll try to get something set up. I know for myself, I'm on Xbox, but if you guys would like to talk or chat with me, Discord is going to be the best way to do those things. Alright guys, hope you enjoy this video. We'll catch you next time.